Five. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the March 2024 board meeting for the Continuing Committee. I'm Maggie Geppert, current and soon to be emeritus
Chair.
chair.
Words
So,
are hard.
yeah, words are hard. Words are getting much, much harder. Oh my God. All right, let me copy up this and put the link over in the article discussion, and then we can go ahead and get started. So, all right, link is now in the forums. So, hey, everybody. I'm glad to see everyone today. I know we got a lot of very busy folks, and lots of things going on, generally speaking, for our board members and our community members. So I'm glad you were able to join me today. We're going to start today's meeting just by approving the minutes.
I would make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, cool. Minutes are approved. Let's go on to department reports. I'll start as executive officer. The very little time I've had for Trek CC work, I haven't even been playing tournaments, except I played Chris's Idic Draft tournament because those rounds are shorter and I didn't have to build a deck for it ahead of time. So that is literally the only tournament I have played since our last board meeting because of things that have been happening at work. And anytime I get for Trek CC work right now, I have been assembling promos. I have brand new sets. I have kits assembled now for promo series, refills for promo series R, promo series S, and then 22 and 23. I got Tribbles kits done, and I am working on regional promos today. So in fact, my friend Eric, who is my partner in crime on scrapbooking day, is going to come over today. He is going to eat corned beef and cabbage with us, and we are going to blitz on making promos. So I'm hoping to get at least several full regional promo kits ready to go into the promenade. Because I know Patty has a promo has his coming up on the 29th. So my goal is tomorrow have a kit for him in the mail. So that's and so I have also been assembling Masters and Nationals kits as much as I can. I did send Nationals kits to Florian in Germany for 1E German Nationals. And what he made a note that they showed up yesterday just in time for the tournament. What he was kind enough not to say was, I actually sent him a Nationals kit over a month ago, and I put a second edition kit in, not a first edition kit. Yeah. I don't know. I knew it was 1E event. I don't know why I would have put a 2E thing in there, except I got the baggies mixed up. And I haven't heard. I also sent a kit on the same day to Mike Gillespie down in Alabama for the Mark Phillips Invitational. They never showed up at all. And I was so fried, I forgot to buy tracking for that package. Thinking, oh, it'll show up in Alabama. It'll be fine. So I don't even know what I sent to him. Maybe two 1E kits. I know there was one 1E kit for the 1E Masters. So that's just how things are for me right now because of work. And but that hopefully will clear up. We've got I think it's Johannes Meta Kneipe van Hans asking, we need more deck lists for the 1E Nationals. Are they required? And the answer is yes. Yes, Hannes, those are required. So I know I'm stepping on Chris's toes right now. So my short answer is kits, which we've got a secondary problem about that, which we will talk about in just a moment. So that's my executive officer report. Let's move on to first edition, Charlie.
Hello. Not much has changed since our last meeting. Lots of things marked moving forward. We have an expansion, Vidian expansion called Life Signs. Wrapping up, we've put Mandalorian, which is the sequel to AU, into testing. Balance team is continuing to do hard work. Expecting some updates coming in April ahead of regionals. And we're running March Madness right now, which is a lot of work, but always fun. So, and it's fun this year, I think, to see it going with complete cards, which has been a frequent request in the past. So I'm eager to see how people feel about it. Participation's been good. I mean, we sort of peaked last year with just crazy, insane amounts of prizes and hype. But it's still pretty good. We had almost 100 people vote in round one, so that's cool. Polls close tomorrow morning for round two, the round of 32, and we'll get to our Sweet 16. We've been putting out a few off releases. We don't have a better name for it, but just like single individual cards that have been coming out. We did the new Battle Bridge door with the shield icon, and then we did Soita, which is the community designed Will of the Collective card that we made during the pandemic. And we have two more new cards coming out in April, which are the first March Madness winners with new cards, which is the fast rotating planet, and there's a support card for it. Those will be coming out in April. Really, that's everything's kind of moving along. It's been very busy. We're doing a lot of different bits of work because we have deadlines coming. So things are moving along real nicely. That's all for me.
Do you think we will get the April 1st release of the new Tribbles set?
There is a non-zero chance that it will miss that. Unfortunately, we had some last-minute production issues that aren't being navigated. It's still possible, but it may be a little bit later in April, which sucks. And I am sorry. It's 100%. I take a full responsibility for it. It's not really something
We'll
that
just have it show up next Tuesday. That'll be the running Star Trek joke. You missed it on April 1st, but you get it on Tuesday.
Yeah, I will update you soon. I'm gonna spend some time on it this afternoon and see if we can't get it into the place. I will say that it's not there are no issues with art or proofreading. It's more complex than that, but I have seen Andrea do her absolutely best. There's some magical images. So there's a decent chance it'll hit April 1st, but there's also a chance it won't. So sorry about that.
Yeah, it's all right. New Tribbles are new Tribbles. And we'll
They
get 'em
are
when we get
coming.
'em.
They are
That's
not.
fine.
It's not going to be a long delay if there's a delay. I don't suspect they will come out outside of April. Just probably not on the 1st.
Tax day. Whenever.
You'll get them. So. And
All righty. So Tiak messaged me on Friday that he wouldn't be able to show up today. I asked him if he wanted to send me a report. I can tell you what I've been seeing just as as somebody who is staff in 2E. And basically what's going on right now is playtesting for Project Galen. So that's, I think that's entering sort of the final phases. That's the new Vidian affiliation. So that looks like it's starting to enter the final phases. I've been seeing some posts about rules. I don't know what it looks like in Utopia Police. You should, oh, Chuck was able to make it today. So greetings, Chuck. Welcome.
No.
Hello, good afternoon. We are just in the 2E report time. I was giving what basically what I've been seeing on the staff side, but if you want to give us a more full picture of what's happening on the 2E side, we'd love to hear about it. Or if you need to circle back, we can go over to we could go down to Chris instead, and we can circle back to you.
Yeah, I can for sure go and give TJ
Okay.
a few seconds.
Yeah.
So in the organized play world, this quarter, I'm really impressed. There have been a lot of people playing. I did a real quick count before this meeting, and there have been 60 completed tournaments already throughout the world between January 1st and now. And a lot of those were in the last, month and a half. I quick count again, we had local events in 8 states, 9 states, a bunch of them online. We had the German Nationals that just you mentioned happened this last weekend. Prior to that, we had the Alabama Masters event, which was really well attended as well. And I'm just again really impressed that as we roll into regional season and kind of get loaded up as we head down the road to Worlds, that there are a lot of people playing right now and a lot of interesting deck ideas. I don't know if anybody else checks decks as much as I do, but the German Nationals had an event that was like Riemann's with Maquis, which is a really interesting deck. And I know I've seen some very cool looking TUI decks here locally. And Jeremy's got a Thief and Smuggler deck that's really kind of cool that he's been playing for second edition. So keep posting deck lists. As Charlie alluded to, and TJ, I'm sure will say too, balance and design, pay attention to what people play. So when stuff gets overpowered or underplayed, that's a kind of a good guide for them on what we can do to boost or to nerf certain strategies. Upcoming stuff for organized play. We've got a couple of regionals happening. I think it might be Justin's is happening this weekend or next weekend. It's coming up this month, I think. I saw regionals in the UK are happening as well. A lot more local gigs. Minnesota's got some local gigs. New York's got a regional, I think. Germany's got some locals as well. And moving ahead and looking ahead, I should say, to continentals, European continentals. I don't know if anybody caught that article. Second edition and Tribbles side of European continentals is nailed down now as well. So you've got all 3 continentals in Europe. Venues and dates are nailed down, and I'm told that the World's venue in San Francisco is very close to getting nailed down and announced, and as is the one in Sioux Falls for Continentals. There's a newer store there that their group is trying to make sure that we have space to play versus playing at their usual event. So that's what I have. A lot going on, and as Charlie said, March Madness is happening now, and new sets are coming out for both games. So it's going to be really exciting for all games. And personally, I just yesterday scheduled the first of 2 in tandem. I'm running online regionals, and my hope this year is that we run a total of 8 online regionals. We're going to try to do some type of sealed draft event for 1E, some type of sealed draft event for 2E, probably Hall of Fame for 2E, and then most likely some other kind of limited constructed for first edition. I think the idea I had floated was like TNG only property logo or something like that. So people have all kinds of options for what they want to do online if they're going to play in sealed or draft, whatever they like. Standard constructed if that's all they really like, and then some type of limited format. So stay tuned for that. And then as Maggie, assuming Maggie's open to it, I'm not trying to put her on the spot, but she'll probably be running those Tribbles regionals because she's got that dedicated Tuesday group that plays midweek, and I'm thinking they'll probably have one with and one without Troubles, so that's your total of 8, and hopefully that'll happen at some point once those new Tribbles sets get pushed out. That'd be fun to play with new cards. That's
Yeah, I'm down for that. I saw your PM, just hadn't had a chance.
I feel like I tried to tag you and it didn't work, and then I was like, oh well, just
If you, yeah, one of the weirder features of the forums is that if you when you're writing an original post, a new post for a new forum thread, the automatic user mention feature doesn't work. So you have to manually user mention equal and then go look up the player number and then like, yeah. So that's awkward. All right.
Like I said, I'm just super thrilled. A lot of people are playing, a lot of tournaments happening. You know, what a difference a few years makes, right? I mean, in 2020, 2021, people were not. And in 2023 and 4, it seems like all that pent up aggression is kind of coming out. We're all ready to play. So as you did mention, deck lists are required for high level events. Those nationals and masters events, if you haven't linked your deck list to them for those 2 events I mentioned already, please do so. Otherwise, I will have to go on the forums and shame you and say you didn't like.
Hannes Meta is pointing out Scott Bauman has not yet posted his winning deck list for.
Oh boy.
So I'm gonna like call out Neelix right here.
That's like a direct. You could like direct text him and say link your deck list. That'll be extra salty.
I can do that. Also, Ben Liebig, shout out to Ben Liebig, who's in the YouTube chat right now, saying he's in a hotel eating beef jerky, letting you entertain me. Now dance, monkeys, dance.
Oh.
All right. Yeah, thanks. Good to see you, Ben. All right. So thank you, Chris, for the report. Yeah, organized play is getting like I have signed up for the online regionals. And I will be, so as as a side mention to regionals today, after we get regionals kits set up, I will be putting those in the promenade so people can order their kits. Also bemoaning the fact, and this is totally my fault, 100%. Why in the world did I choose a double-sided card for the regional? It's twice as much work.
Yeah, nice job.
And we did alternate border too. So for one each, you really.
Well, yeah, but we're only doing 3 of each for the one so that's fine. That's the same amount of work.
True.
Gosh. Well, not to hype too much, but Maggie, I'm looking at this online regional. I mean, again, I posted it yesterday. Maybe I should unregister. I don't really want to play Michael, Jared, and Patty back to back to back. That sounds really fun. That's in the one side, and the 2E side is you, Jared, Ben. Okay, I'll just watch.
Yep. I don't want to get my ass. Shark Tank. All right, so let's circle back then to second edition. Tjark, how's everything in 2E land?
Yeah, first I have to apologize for being late, but I had other business to do, and when I want to jump in time, Zoom doesn't let me in because I have to update the version and it doesn't work for me. Yeah, on the 2E side, we have the new set, Continuing Missions, running, and I'm curious about the first tournaments to play with this edition. The next set, the Widians are running fine in play testing. My timeline for the Widians is to have them active before Worlds, so timeline will be a little bit challenging because it's a new affiliation for 2E, but I hope to make it active for Worlds 2 months before Worlds is be hosted. To circle around other big tournaments might not be possible. I have to check the dates. Yeah, I noticed that Julius had hosted the 2E European Continentals. I have no idea how we do that, but I want to have the Widians being active to Worlds. Maybe it's an option to say when we have another big tournament that it is not legal, even if it's a standard 1 week after release has passed. To not interfere with other big tournaments. There are too many tournaments to circle around. I hope we can. We can do that. Another option would be to give the cards to the players who want to participate in this tournament. That is my second best choice. I think so. The Widians are fine. I think making it for Worlds, it's realistic. Giving people 2 months before World. For the other tournaments, I cannot guarantee that. Yeah, the next set, the Widians are running. So Cindy, we are start to do the Cindy for next year. We made a team of 4+1, so four experienced designer for starting to design with the Cindy, and one guy jumping in the team to see if he works with us and can work with the team. So that is already coordinated with Richard. Yeah, after the Widians, as the last meeting, we have Project Hamlet to finally change the double icon cards with Toss and Earth icons on it, and making a set of erratas for the last, I think, 13, 14 card that has these double icons, and give them Earth or Toss icon, and to compensate some what is it, gaps. We created a new set called Hamlet. That is ready for playtesting, and we're just waiting to finish the Widians. After that, we have a set, what I said, like commander and ships set, where we made commanders for ships. We have ships for commanders. We have where either the commander or the ship is missing. So it's like, I think it was 10th anniversary set with commander and ships. That needs a little bit fine tuning. And then we have for I think it's January 2025. We have 30 years of Voyager. The set is already ready. It's proved, the images, but we're just waiting for release date. And then we have another project that we want to run to compensate gaps in affiliations, sub-affiliations, where we make a mixed set, where we have looking for themes for them, like yeah, Chris said, we see some affiliations that are a little bit too weak. We pump them up, making cards, or find a second gimmick for an affiliation, like we did with the Cardassians. So we make Cardassians dissidents. I think I will ask the community for this set what they suggest, where we take a special look at. We have some basics where we said, okay, we make some cards. We are playing with ideas, but I think in the community it was mentioned to do something. The only thing at the moment I can remember is something for the gatherers, for example. So we can make a set with new themes, let the people, not like in community one suggesting cards, but give us ideas for themes to play with. Say, okay, what could be a gimmick for the Klingons? We have Klingon Battle, we have Klingon Delta. Okay, they have two gimmicks. Yeah, what could it be? What could be a gimmick for Thieves, for example? They have just this. What is a weak affiliation? But the problem is, if we find out something is very weak or unbalanced, then it always takes a lot of time to create a new card, make the card run, let it be tested. So if we find out there's a weaker or overpowered affiliations, to cut an overpowered affiliations down with errata is easy. To cut it down or pump a affiliation up with new ideas it always takes time. That is a problem. So I play a lot of tournaments, and I try to keep the game somehow balanced, yeah, but that is really a little bit, yeah, time eating. It is really time eating, because if you see something is weak, you have to put it in a set. You have to find a free slot in the timeline, and we have so like we have 5 sets in the pipe. So, and then we have to see if it's a minor problem. We want to just create a few cards. We can add it to a set that is a rainbow set, but we cannot add it to set like 30 years of Voyager. So that is simply a question of time. So if someone feels that he's missing something, then he should contact Richard or me in time, so we can take a special look at it and setting things into motion. But the problem is the problem is really time. When I see a problem now and want to fix it, I think the minimum realistically it takes a year, not to fix a problem, not finding a good idea. That is, I think, from the time perspective, very easy, but from the timeline, it is hard. I have an idea, I can set it, but set it in motion, it takes a year. Yeah. So better to say in time what you see. If it's just making one counter card in a set, okay, that's fine. Yeah, like we did with Morphogenic Virus. Yeah, that is something we can plotter in, but making an affiliation more powerful, or giving them a new gimmick, or just level it up, level it down a little bit, and it takes more than 1 or 2 cards. It's just a question of time. Not only manpower, but in the whole timeline. I cannot cancel the timeline. I just try to be up to date, but it is not always easy. Yeah, that is from the TUI side. That's more background for the sets. I can just ask people, if we're going to make the Widians run, keep an eye on it, and I will try to make sure that the playtesters do not have an advantage against other people from the timeline, but that can only be guaranteed for Worlds. And I suggest, if you intend to play on higher ranking tournaments, maybe expect the Widians will show up shortly in front of that. So joining playtesting, it's always a good choice for us to help us, and on the other side for you to be updated what is coming on the side, and making some tests if you want to prepare for a tournament. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thanks, Tiak. Got a couple of questions here. Brian Sykes wants to know our take on this year's Hall of Fame class. So I figured that's a TUI, or I can wait and do that at the end as a public comment period.
Yeah.
Johannes wants to know, Tiak, what are you playing next week on Saturday?
Okay. I will be honest. I will play TNG. I will play TNG. So don't come with your hardest deck. You know what I'm playing. I will play TNG. I will play TNG. I think Ben already knows that I will play TNG. So yeah.
All right. Thank you. All right. So then last then we'll have Justin give us a financial report.
Not much activity going on. Just we did a test run of some buttons in the playmats for this year, since we're doing something different. So those were done. We're looking for that. Large order will probably get submitted. I would say soon. So that'll be a large expense that will come out, but we are doing good. Got our annual renewal. We'll get that done today, and so a month ahead of time, which is great. And what work that I did do last month, did a little legwork on the Zoom account. It is would cost a lot more money to add multiple sub accounts. So I'm looking at a couple other options to where we can have multiple accounts. There's a couple other softwares, and so when I know more, I'll be able to report more back to the group. If it means we depart Zoom, I don't know if the group wants to do that. We'll see. But when I know more, I'll report back to the group, and we can all make a decision.
Yeah, I don't think that we want to leave Zoom because as far as I know, it's really the best way for us to do these direct YouTube broadcasts. And we use WebEx at work, and I can tell you WebEx sucks. So I wouldn't, I couldn't suggest WebEx, and I don't know other.
We started with actually WebEx, and that's how we ended up at Zoom, because we couldn't get the I couldn't get the YouTube connection to Cisco working. Yeah, no, it's not those two, it's some other things. But yeah, when I know more, I'll post more in our chat, but in our forum. But yeah, other than that, yeah, that's what I've been doing.
All right, thank you. So Daniel wasn't able to make it today. Neither was Brian, but we know Brian is stepping down. So I'm not surprised he's not here today. He's thought work is apparently just silly for him. All right, so let's move into old business. I just wanted to quick give you the period of review results. We were all retained again this year. The closest race by far was the second edition race. There were lots of abstentions, which is telling me that probably a lot more one-only players who were voting in the period of review were abstaining, or people who just didn't want to say yes or no. So that was the closest race by far, was the 2E race. Everybody else was retained with very wide margins. So then old business. Oh, and with the period of review, we had a lot more people who were eligible this year. I don't know if it was just we have more premium members lately, or we had, I did ask Marcus to include anybody who had run a tournament last year as a member for the purposes of the period of review. So we might have had a lot more people that way. But we had a lot of people a lot lower percentage of people who voted. So it was about the same raw number of people, a few less than we've had before, but the percentages were much lower. So I don't know what's going on there. But we'll keep doing this every year. Maybe people are just like, well, doesn't matter because they're going to get retained anyway, which is entirely, another entirely possible scenario. All right, so I had a couple of items that were asked about to be added to old business. A long-term plan status update. So the status is I haven't done jack with it. Sorry. I know this was something that I'm like, yes, let's do this. And then, as I've told you all, I have been handed my strangely compelling turd sandwich at work, which will continue through May, because that's when the semester is over. And then I can start thinking about that long-term plan again. And I do think it's a very important thing. I just cannot justify working on it when I have like real physical things that need to get done for us that bring in money, regional kits, and the promenade brings us funds, and also working on getting the promenade back functioning. So nothing has happened with the long-term plan. Also on old business, the forum moderation policy, basically I kind of think this issue is closed, because we've told the moderators we were not happy with what happened with Monty 42, And we were hoping that, some sort of changes could be made to the moderation policy where we can, where we can sort of make it apply harder to people who are deliberately trolling, and but it's, the people who put their toe up to the line. But it's, that's a really hard thing to come up with, and I don't think the moderators seem very inclined to make large changes like that to the moderation policy. So again, and I think I said this when this came up a few meetings ago, if some member of the public out here, if some member of the public has ideas about how we could craft language for the moderation policy that would basically say, it should basically say, hey, don't be, don't be a more strong, don't be a dick policy. So if somebody's got ideas for how to make those sorts of updates, I would direct you to Knob the Hobbit, our head moderator on the forums. Does anybody have any comments on that stuff?
I would just add, I think that person that we were really concerned about has since been banned, if memory serves, for a longer period of time. So hopefully that, like you said, hopefully that issue is now kind of put to bed.
Yes, the troll, the instigator, has been given a 6-month forum ban. We will, and that I don't know who, I don't know if they will decide to come back, to petition to be reinstated. I think Benny's ban is about to expire and very soon. So hopefully we'll see him back on the public forums again. All right, any other comments for old business? All right, so new business. My term is up. We need a new board chair. So I'm gonna propose, I don't know if I'm allowed to, I don't know if by the Robert's Rules of Orders, I don't know
Hello?
if I'm allowed to
you hear
nominate
me?
anyone.
Can you
No,
hear
I
me?
don't think, yes, we can, Charlie. I don't think that you're allowed to nominate. And we have talked about this offline. Go
Sorry,
ahead,
I
Charlie.
was trying to say something and I was muted for some reason.
Yeah, go ahead, Charlie.
I would like to volunteer to be the next chair.
Okay, you're sure?
I am sure.
Justin,
But you still have
TJ?
to vote on it, so.
For me, it's fine. I would always reject this job for me, simply because one of these jobs that is better having an American or native speaker is being chair. So myself is not an option, and I'm fine with Charlie. And you always realized that is not the most wanted job. Yeah, so I'm absolutely fine. Charlie does a good job with Wani. Really, one of my targets become a good director as Charlie is and Wani, but it really takes time. It really takes time. So, and he's experienced, so let him be the chair. I'm fine with it, absolutely.
All right, we'll call that the second then.
Okay.
All right, so all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Do I get to vote or not because I'm a candidate?
Again, I don't know.
Justin's very quiet. Justin didn't. Do you want to be chair, Justin? Do you feel like it's your turn, or do you want to let Charlie take it this year?
It's fine. Charlie can take it. That's fine.
Okay.
All right, then welcome back, Chair Blaine.
I would formally request that you continue through the end of this meeting.
Yes, I realized usually that's sort of the last thing to do at the end of the meeting. All right, so let's move on to the search for a new director of operations. As we mentioned in the last in the last board meeting, Brian Schaefline, Jeebus on the forums, needs to step down because work for him has gotten silly. As I understand it, he is basically coding 16 hours a day right now. Like, cannot, on the weekends, during the week. So he is unable to continue as director of operations, and I also need to coordinate with him about figuring out what we're gonna do about the warehouse, because unfortunately, we do have orders that have been sitting in the warehouse since September, and that's not cool, because that's people have paid money for those. I'm not talking about the raffle stuff, and we do have lots of raffle orders, and Dan has been very, very slowly working his way on packaging and shipping out the raffle orders. So those, actually the first few raffle orders did go out, and we've seen some reports of people who have gotten their raffle prizes. So that's actually the majority of the orders in the promenade right now, but there are things that haven't been shipped since September, and that includes kits that, nationals kits for Germany, that includes kits for that includes kits that people have purchased. So we do need to get those moving. I need to talk with Brian about that, see if at least temporarily that stuff can come to my house, but I can't be warehouse manager too. Absolutely cannot be the warehouse manager.
No, but I mean, given proximity, if we can task you with just blowing out that old stuff, that'd be a huge help to us. And like you said, that doesn't mean you're gonna warehouse everything from now on, but he can't be that far living away from you, right? Is he an hour? Is he even that far away?
On a good traffic day, it's about 40 minutes to drive to Brian's house, because he's in the city. They live very close to the lake on the north side, so it's not like super convenient or inconvenient to get to his place from my house. So yeah.
Yeah, just echoing what you said. We're not trying to have you be the
Okay.
actual shipping manager, but if you can get
Yeah.
that September back. Oh,
And to work on, because I want to be able to get these, especially for the early regionals, get the regional kits out as quickly as possible. That's really important, because those are the regional applications, the regional fees and the regional kits are really our meat and potatoes in terms of yearly income. So, all right, so how are we running this search for a new director of operations then? Justin, were you gonna run the search, or was Chris gonna do it?
And when do we want to put an article up?
As soon as possible.
Okay. Do we have the application? I couldn't find the application for the last director of operations to use in the article template. Do we know where that is stored?
We've moved away from applications, I thought, to just.
yeah, mine when we did it for comms was basically like, if you're interested, please PM me. And I think it at best was like a one-on-one conversation, if I recall correctly, or maybe a couple of us talked to the candidates. More of an informal, not a true application, but do we have anyone interested in this position, period. You have to start there. I mean, it's one thing if you have 5-6 applicants, but that's not the case anymore. We might get 1 or 2, at best 2. I have, like I said, I have the article that I wrote for director of communications, and it might be as easy as me changing the title of who
Yeah,
we're searching.
I found that, and so yeah, I can just copy that and change and tweak it to make it easy.
Okay.
Put that out. I'll work on that this afternoon.
All right, thanks, Justin. Appreciate you taking on this search. So our whoever is the new director of operations is going to, basically it's going to be a question of staffing up. So they'll need to hire a warehouse manager, and they're going to need to hire more programmers, if we can get a few more programmers on staff, because I know that the list of things that need to get done in terms of programming the website is long. And a lot of it is like the kind of code tweaks to modernize the background code. That's not, it's not sexy work. But we also have projects that need to get done, like the changing out the promenade to more of a reward store. So that's a bigger project there. So yeah, it's we have a lot of modernization of the site that needs to get done. And as I understand it, it's very, the code, the underlying code is pretty solid but it's, it's always one of those things, new things come along, new changes need to be made. And, it's a long list, but if we can get a few more folks in who are willing to jump in the code, that would be amazing. All right. So let's see. All right. Any more comments on on either of the new business? All right. So we did have a request in the public comment period. That wanting to know our opinion on the new class of the second edition Hall of Fame. I was surprised, myself, I was very surprised about how small it was. I thought that a lot more people, I thought we'd have a lot more cards that got voted in, given the huge number of cards that got nominated. So yeah, and I thought for sure the Week Will Perish would be a first ballot shoo-in, and it was not. So I think people were trying, as I understand it, a lot of people voted no because they wanted to preserve Species 8472 decks as a thing in Hall of Fame. So so yeah, I mean, that was my surprise. I struggled to find cards to nominate. Then again, I also waited way too late to put my nominations in.
Yeah, I like that there's no HQs that are retired. That to me, I struggle with that, but a lot of Klingon hate in this wave. Chaos theory being that 2 of the 3 forecasters are in and one's not. Poor Core gets to sit on the sidelines, or I guess in this case still be played. Looks like a little bit of the Ferengi jank from a long time ago. Parlanor and Rule 4 at 141, those are out. That's good to see. And like you, Maggie, I guess my opinion is it's really weird to see Dalrock and Week Will Perish still playable in that format. I mean, those are just so in every dilemma pile. Greater Needs too, like those are in every dilemma pile I build. Really surprised to see those three dilemmas staying around this year.
All right. Yeah. Any other comments on Hall of Fame?
I mean, it's an interesting list, that's for sure. The process is what it is. I'm glad people enjoy it. So I'm happy to see that the process is working. It is a surprisingly small class. So. But thanks to Brian for doing it. It's not easy, I imagine. I mean, just doing March Madness, which is literally the same thing 6 times a year, is a lot. So I imagine managing Hall of Fame is even more. So thank you for doing it.
Yeah, I appreciate the public input value of the Hall of Fame. So yeah. All righty then. I'm not seeing any comments on Discord. I'm not seeing any more comments on the chat. And so I'm gonna go ahead and call any anyone care? So can we get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Get a second?
Second.
All right, then I am officially calling this my last meeting as board chair for a while. So cheers, everyone. It's been a privilege, and I will see everybody in a couple of months.